Okay, here we go. Cool, yeah, that was Eluo's idea. At first I thought maybe it's a bit too intrusive, but anyway, let me show you guys some of this new tool I've got, which is that it is, hey everyone, welcome. So now you guys can't see it here, but it's got this min max because the idea is that I want each of these to be randomized. So you can see it's like I can put like here every time I hit random, it randomizes. So the idea is that people will get slightly different you know, it'll look slightly different each time or something. I don't know how this game preview works. Hey, Galactic Vena. So yeah, it's just this new tool that can, you know, that allows it to randomize it. Now, let me see this. This spawn point is no wait. I want spawn point to be at 100. No wait. Minus 60 I think is good. The depth. Oh no way, yeah. 200, 300. Depth is 400. Oh yeah, the radius should not be that big. Let's see. I know, I want to watch. I do play other soundtracks, but yeah, this is just a really cool tool that lets me visualize a whole bunch of stuff. It's important to have the editor tools. So yeah, welcome everybody. Right, so you know what I can do is make the tweaks in here. So I think, you know, oh, I am such a tool. Some of these too big. So yeah, I can look at the min, so the smallest version of it, as well as the max, right? So it just kind of lets me, and I can, every time I randomize, we see something a little bit different. Now let's add a node. Let's add. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, yeah, okay, hold on, guys. Hey, Zixarner. It is going to be $20. I think that is a good price for me. You know, it's about, yeah, and I'm just trying to get a sense of like what one can expect on the market these days. Yeah, it's not always about what I would like, but perceptions. Maybe. It's really not super expensive for me, though, to... It's not super expensive for me. Sorry, guys, I'm in the... Yeah, it's not super expensive for me to do the localization because there's not a lot of words. I'm a DJ. Hey guys. Yeah, I think Eluo suggested that, and I think it's worked out really well. Anyway, so this is our new tool, which lets me randomize. You know, because what I want, so there is a bit of procedural generation, but what I would like is for everybody to have slightly different versions of what this looks like. Yeah, anyway, I thought it was kind of this was a cool way to allow for different variations. I can see the maximum. All the values turned up all the way. I can see the minimum. The values turned up all the way down. I can see the midpoint, and I can start to see random. So you know what? Like maybe even for this one, it's like let's just go max. It's like. Hey, Sunsail. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I mean, so in the game, the idea is everybody will get your playthrough. You're gonna get a different set of these, and it will store it. So you know, each playthrough you end up getting a different collection, and the idea is people, you know, I like to encourage people to kind of share these, so on and so forth. Okay, so see, this guy takes up. This guy takes up too much, right? So you want to, you know, just get an idea of the possibility space involved. Okay, Sunsail, I'll see you around. Yeah, unfortunately, kind of at this late stage of the game, everything is gonna be somewhat spoiler-ish. Alright, so this is it. So anyway, I'm pretty happy with this. Let's see, let's put it at 100. And, you know, let's put AV00 in here. Maybe I should take out the spoiler alert. so let's create that. Get some more water, I'll be right back. Play something a little bit different. SimCity. Well, you can. Dear Esther's too slow. Yeah, I've seen Anno 2205. It's like on the list of games that I want to play, but I'm nervous because those games are always, you know, you start on Friday night and then you basically don't stop playing until Sunday evening. And you're like, oh god, I haven't eaten in 3 days. Alright, okay, so we're getting quite a bit of variation here. Okay. Yeah, the one more turn. They are good for long flights. Wait, I thought Civ 5 ended when you got to space. What? Oh. Whoa, 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 what? So it's the level loading is not. There's like 20 levels connected to this level at the moment, and it's my level loading system is not made to handle that. So it ends up there's this kind of drop in frame rate just then. Sorry. Ah! No, it's much faster than that. It's like a second. It should only be 1 second. Watch and forget. Watch and forget. So, oh, you know what? Actually, now that before we continue, I would like to take a second and watch the Monument Valley 2 trailer. Let's do this. Oh, what? No! They did the world inside the world thing. That was my idea. Oh, tree growing. Us too. That looks cool, man. Cause I was like, well, nobody's done the world inside of the world, in release games, and I was like, you know, Manifold is going to be the first game with the world inside of a world mechanic. You guys know what I'm talking about. But us two beat me to it. Tisk tisk. It's very cool. Hope it still runs. I have like a super old iPad. Yeah, well, mine's in first person, so that is cool, but I was pretty excited about. I was like, okay, no other game's done it before. Alright, well, let's get to work. Yeah, I was just excited. I was like, okay, no other game has done this before, but no other game has done it in first person, which I think is still big. And now you guys can see on the stream that I had the idea before I saw it in Monument Valley 2. That's awesome. Well, they that was kind of cool that they sort of just dropped it. I guess they had there was what do you call it? There was there was a talk today. No, there was like an Apple event today or something. Well, sort of, but nobody. I don't know of another game that's used that as a way to go into another world. I mean, I guess everything kind of did it. But I like the idea that you. Well, yeah. Well, wait. The Matrix, the game did it. Actually, now that I think about it, like what am I thinking about? I think scale does it. Yeah. Yeah, it is not new. I'm not as concerned about it being I'm not actually concerned about being the first. It's interesting coming back to these levels that are a little old and looking at. It's like, oh, actually, there's so many things I would have done differently. It's my new debug tool. I'm cheating. Yeah, and I'm not even really using it as a mechanic, to be honest, to be fair. Mine's just, I'm using it as a transition screen. All right. Close the blinds. So, for those of you that caught the Unfolding the Garden episode, hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you didn't, here is the archive. And the next episode will be this Saturday. It was really fun for me to do. I'm pretty excited about it. Although I think this is one of our viewers, Alexander Ramai, did one of those Inception style photographs. So yeah, currently I'm just on like a big content push. I'm the bottleneck in terms of development right now, because we wanna start moving on to optimization and polish, but we can't really start optimizing unless the whole game is there, because we're sort of at that point where it doesn't. We have done like all the basic. We've done all the low-hanging fruit. And what needs to happen now is, where is this guy going? The stuff that needs to be done now is the okay, in this level specifically we're trying to do this, but X is causing the problem. Man, okay, I have all these hallways and I have no idea where they lead to. Whew. Yeah, sort of. There is. I mean, I'm sort of experiencing like a mini version of that right now. Like, I built this hallway, but it was so long ago. I think the last time I worked on this level has been over a year. So coming back, I'm like, I don't. You know, it's like, what was I trying to do with this thing? Yeah, like, there's even for example, there's a hallway here that goes outside. Now, why? I don't even know where this guy connects to. So, it will be interesting. There has been a few moments, because a lot of times with level design, you get kind of, not even just level design, but often while working on this game, I'll get very caught up in the details, and that can, you know, it's sort of like having blinders on, and you aren't looking at the game as a whole. And then, like last night, I have those moments kind of here and there, small versions of it. Like last night playing the game, it just sort of occurred to me how massive the game was. That was a really cool feeling. So yeah, where does this guy go? Wait a minute. Oh wait, he is though. Yeah, that's actually one of the hard things about working on a game is you just stop seeing the magic, and the more you're working on it, it's like the farther away. Well, you know, the thing is, it actually is, as much as I try to do that, it's pretty much impossible at this point. I can't look at the game like a player who's experiencing it the first time. Anymore. I mean, honestly, the only way to do that is you just play test. So you have to keep play testing. I mean, part of the confusion here is like some of this stuff was not finished, right? Which is what is making it confusing. Like, I wouldn't. Okay, so this is not something that would go in the final version, right? This is just this dead end. But, you know, I think this level is obviously unfinished, so it's more. I was working on it, but I no longer remember what I was working on. Time to finish. Yeah, it's right now I am aiming for yeah, 6 to 8 hours. Yeah, obviously if I'm finding something to be frustrating, you know, at this stage, then that's going to be frustrating to others as well. Well, we actually are doing a beta test already. We've been doing, I think at this point the game has been tested by over over 1,000 people. We had a closed beta on itch.io. We're gonna start that up again. It is definitely, you know, something that I have been doing and will be doing again once I have the game start to finish. Yeah, and I don't even use friends for that because so many of them have, well, basically a lot of the Chicago indie devs have already played the game, so, you know, what I need is, what I need is strangers. Yeah, we've got we'll be starting the call for that, I think, later this week. I think we'll start the signups. Yeah, I also need to put some giant watermark so it doesn't get pirated. You know, I mean, I've made my peace with people pirating the final build of the game, but it's kind of annoying when the alpha version gets leaked. Yeah, I mean, some of the Chicago developers, usually, you know, other video game developers can be quite, you know, the people who are in the industry, they tend to be good at that, at giving feedback because they know how that is, but part of it is also not everyone is good at taking that feedback. But yeah, at the level where Manifold Garden is, it's like I just need a ton of strangers, right? I need the people who are going to be writing the Steam reviews, the reviews on the Steam store page. I need those people like them to be playing it. So, you know, if there's a part that's frustrating, I thought someone was at my door. Yeah, if something's frustrating, I need them to tell me about it. Because it's either they tell me during the beta testing feedback phase, or I get a negative Steam review. Yeah, I will post the beta sign up. It will be here on the stream. I'll announce it on the stream. I think it'll be... It's like with this week or next week, you know, we're getting really, really close. I can't see if like one person's wish list, like if I have your profile, I think I can see your wish list. I think if you make it public, if you make your library public, I can see the total number of wish list additions. Last I checked, which was a few weeks ago, was about it was like 6,300 people, which is not too shabby, I think. Obviously, the higher the better. But yeah, I have like, you know, there's 4,000 people on the Manifold Garden mailing list. About 4,000 people, you know, about 6,000 people with the game on their wish list. I see the numbers, yeah, and I can see the number of additions. Well, this is kind of the building I'm getting inspiration from, but kind of unfortunately, it looked like the Twin Towers exploding. To be honest, I don't feel like they needed to apologize. I've not been testing the Mac version at all. You know, I don't have a Mac, so it makes more sense to just do and especially because right now I'm focusing more on locking down design. It's like I'll just do it on PC and get that set up. Bum bum. But yeah, once the PC version is more or less, I think basically once the game's design is locked, yeah, if I start working on the Mac version now, it just makes the iteration cycle longer. So once the game's design is locked and the PC version is good, then we'll start doing Mac. Just kind of focusing one thing at a time. That is my strategy. So yeah, but unfortunately that does mean that there is no Mac build to speak of at the moment. Yeah, I mean that they had a scene that was inspired by the MC Escher print Relativity. In theory, you know, it always. I've worked with enough different versions that, sure, yeah, in theory it should just work, but there are always complications. Right. It doesn't mean I'm not gonna do it. It's just you basically have to make sure you're setting aside time, ample time. I don't treat anything as trivial anymore. Like there's a few times with save system and menu. Like yeah, every game's got a menu and every game has a save system. It's probably super easy. Each of those took like over a month. It was such a pain to do that no, I'm like, yeah, I don't assume anything is easy. Okay, thanks Space Motion. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. Have a great rest of the Monday. And yeah, I will let you know when the Mac version is ready to get to test. I will probably get, I think for myself, I will probably get a MacBook. No, not a MacBook. I think I'll get a Mac Mini. I've heard that that's the, because that's like a few $100s and is fairly powerful. Probably get like a refurbished Mac Mini and use that to test the Mac builds. Alright, I'll stop. Oh yeah, but I mean, obviously, I wanna have the environment. Yeah, it's not to build the game, but I don't want to be like just sending it out. Not, you know, if there are bugs, I need to be able to test it and replicate it without having to send to someone else to play each time. So yeah, it's just. You know, if people send a bug report, I need to be able to replicate it. If people send it, the bug report's out. Doing the voice from that guy in Futurama. Oh, yeah, there we go. Senses. Maybe I'll do that for Halloween. I am not a Halloween person. You know, some people are Halloween people. They like... really... People love Halloween. I don't like going out on Halloween. I don't like going out on nights. I don't like going out when lots of people are out. Crowds make me nervous. Hey man, the lighting here is really nice. I like this lighting. Guys, I am gonna take a quick 5-minute break. Now, I know some people that will, you know, they'll spend like months working on their costume. Time to bring out the old Pinterest. You can always tell when it's promoted. Ooh, interesting. Oh, that's cool. I'm just trying to get inspiration at the moment. So I do this sometimes when I'm kind of stuck. Oh, you know what? I know what I need to do now. I did. We actually just watched the trailer for it. And, you know, it showed like they had that transition where you go from going to another level from inside of a level. It was devastating. Because, I was like, oh, Manifold Garden's going to be the first game with that. But it's okay. It's okay. No, I don't actually really care. It's cool though, yeah, I think I will, well, the thing is, I have a super old iPad from 2010? No, 2012 maybe. Anyway, I don't know if it's still... I basically only use it to watch Netflix. Hey, me too. That is, I'm actually sort of, I'm very interested in seeing what speedrunners do with this. There is the guy that, you know, the thing with puzzle games is I don't... Do people speedrun puzzle games? I know people did Portal speedruns, but Portal's a very physical game. Like, does The Witness have a speedrun scene? A lot of it will be figuring out the right path. So my plan with the speedrunning... So I'd actually like to hear your guys' thoughts on this, because I don't know a whole lot about speedrunning. But my plan with the game is sort of to just have a lot of secret paths. Because that's true, people speedrun anything. That's not what I meant. But there is... As in, your ability to... Well, I guess this goes with anything. I was going to say your ability to speedrun the game is correlated to how well you know the space. But I mean, obviously that applies to every single game. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not actually, like, upset about it or anything. I actually think it's kind of cool. Yeah, well, because the thing with Manifold Garden is that the gating, you're not gated by abilities, right? Like for example, you're gated by knowledge, which is the same thing with. Oh no, he's not. He's not spoiling the game at all. I don't think there was any spoilers in there. The level inside level, I've talked about that. It's no big deal. So what I mean is, right. So there's no ability gating. Like in a Metroidvania, you have to. It's like in order to use a certain door, you have to get a special ability. So you got to get to the ability first, and come back. But I think the gating in Manifold Garden is a lot like The Witness, which is about your knowledge. Right, you could get to the ending of The Witness in 5 minutes if you wanted to. Oh yeah, but even sequence breaking, that's a thing you're doing, right? Like you're intentionally going against the designer's choice. Oh, that's yeah. I don't even have procedurally generated puzzles like The Witness though. It will be... yeah, I guess you do have to memorize a lot of them. So there is skill involved in that. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I am sort of designing the game with speedrunning in mind, sort of. Right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see it. I'm looking forward to being surprised. Of course, J Blow tested everything. Like there are some exploits in the game which I am leaving in there intentionally. Yeah, one of the guys that did his name is Demon Strafe. He did he was the guy that did the Portal speedrun in 15 minutes. He's actually, not surprisingly, he's like a QA tester at Microsoft now. But he had reached out a long time ago, and asked about speedrunning. Back then it was called relativity. I don't know what TAS or RNG means. It is, the beginning is semi-predictable. The first half of it is. The way the game is set up is a little bit more it's linear at the beginning, because there's a lot more you need to be familiar with, right? Like you need to know how to... Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah. I don't know enough about speedrunning to know what those guys do. There's no jumping in the game. Oh, interesting. I just realized I had two screens open. Sort of, not really. The game defies normal architecture terms. Hello, salads. So there are 4 ways. Oh yeah, so back to kind of how Manifold Garden is set up. It's not open world. It's not totally non-linear like The Witness, where you can kind of go anywhere in the world at the beginning. So it's not like that. The beginning is a little bit more linear just because I need the player to learn the mechanics in a certain way. Like you have to relearn gravity, you have to be comfortable with that. So it's a little bit more involved. But the second half of the game is very non-linear, even more non-linear than The Witness. If that makes any sense. It's, yeah, I think the second half of the game is very sandboxy, very much like Breath of the Wild. There aren't even really... They're still puzzles, but they're more like... situations, and then you can sort of just figure out how you want to get through it. Well, if you rotate the parent cube, the child cube is going to get rotated as well. I mean, that just sounds like what... That just sounds like what, what you expect it to do? Yeah, but then what if won't speedrunners just watch my stream archives and then figure out everything? I'll have to not stream some level design. We'll see. I'm interested in providing that challenge. Oh, you know, let's listen to the Flower soundtrack. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to most. Is being surprised. Man, I got a real case of the Mondays. I'm just like, I'm not finding it a little harder to get into the flow. Anyone else experiencing that? Case of the Mondays. Wow, pray 5 minutes. You guys, you're talking about the new Prey or the old Prey? Because I happen to have the old Prey on disc. It's the only game on disc. You know what's crazy is you cannot buy this game on Steam. They ran out of digital keys. So someone was very, very nice to mail me a copy of this. This had Portals and gravity changing a long time ago. This is Portals before Portals. I use trackball. Logitech. I've heard the new Prey is pretty good, though. Hey, by the way, did anyone know about this? Can someone tell me about this game? Dead Cells? Like... So I'd never heard about it. And it looked like it came out last month and has 3,890 reviews. Is this... like, what? Who made this? People knew about these guys? It seems like their only game. But yeah, I never heard about this until I saw it on Steam. And this part looks very Hyper Light Drifter, just I guess with the gradients and that pixel art. Perhaps not super surprising because it's like a Dark Souls like. And yeah, that is good pixel art. But you know, like 4,000 reviews in less than a month. And I did not know of any hype before. Yeah, I was just like, how did I completely miss this? Like, it looks good, but it looks Souls. You know, yeah, I just totally missed it. Yeah, I was like, it just came out of nowhere. Popular through reviews, but like, how do they hear about it? I mean, there's a million games coming out every day. Yeah, but it's doing phenomenal. I mean, right? Like, I just did not hear anybody talking about it before, and now it's sitting at 200,000. You know, if I do this, I'd be over the moon. Yeah, I'm more just interested in like how people learned about it, how it got so big all of a sudden. Yeah, I did not see it either. Just anyway, food for thought. Something new? I don't think I agree with that. It's not a totally random thing, right? It's not like you release a game and it's not like every week Steam picks someone and puts on the front page. Steam does have you know, it's about conversion ratios, about conversion rates. Like how did Dead Cells build up the hype? Because I never heard about the game. That's what's surprising to me. Or maybe I just wasn't really paying enough attention. Well, of course. I don't want bad music in the game. Oh yeah, of course, of course. That's true. I know reviews are, but then I see a lot of games that get good reviews. But like, who is reviewing the game in the... Are you talking about like reviewers as in like Polygon, IGN? Because my understanding with getting attention now, and you know, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, seems to be, well, first, so I don't know what works, right? There's sort of a million different channels how people discover games, and it's sort of a chicken and egg thing. It's not always clear. It's like reviewers like to write about games that people are interested in, and people become interested in games that get reviewed. So what's first, right? Like, but it seems to be, well, first you see the press talking about it. But see, Steam reviews don't happen until the game is out, right? So what do you do before the game comes out? Like, how did those initial people just start playing that game? Was there just some people who never heard about the game and then bought it and was like, ah, yeah, this looks good, you know? It seems like, okay, well, first you or on the tour circuit, or you're showing the game, and like some websites start talking about it, IGN, Polygon, Rock Paper Shotgun, and that kind of starts to get on the that gets on the YouTubers' radars, and they're like, oh, that looks kind of cool, like you know, at least they remember it. Then they kind of keep hearing about it. So by the time you finally reach out to the YouTubers or streamers, because I'm sure they get 200 emails a day or more of people asking them to play their games. So by the time you see the email, they're like, oh, we I've heard about this game before. This looks kind of cool. Let's check it out. Markiplier. Isn't Markiplier's audience primarily kids who don't have money? No, I know. Oh yeah, we know YouTubers are big. We got a list. Yeah, I mean, it's not. I'm not saying like, I'm not concerned with, you know. I just want people to buy it. I don't want people to watch it just to buy it, but there are so many different communities and all sorts of stuff. Hey, M.A., how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, for me, it's I don't know what works. There seems to be no magic bullet with game marketing. You just gotta do everything. Packing. You're moving or traveling? How's my day going? We were just talking about. I think I've got a case of the Mondays. You know, I'm here working and it's all good, but my mind is like a little bit rusty. You know, I'm having a bit of a harder time getting into the zone. Okay, cool. Yes, Hodor in town. Thank you very much. It would be greatly appreciated. Right, I've heard that is sort of the case because it's like, you know, the larger YouTubers are friends with kind of YouTubers a little bit smaller than them, and they're friends with YouTubers smaller than them, and like it's like they see their friend play this and then they play that. So like there's some streamers, YouTubers, Northern Lion, Rockley Smile, who've been interested in the game. You know, Northern Lion. Yeah, I'm not like friends with those people or anything. So they like Northern Lion saw the game at E3 2016 and was like, hey, this is one of the coolest games I saw. So I do plan on sending it to them. But yeah. Game marketing, man, it's a full-time job. Actually, kind of everything is a... Every aspect of game development is a full-time job. Going down south. Yeah, all right, so for a long time there's like a few people helping me, a few people part-time helping me out with the game now. But yeah, I mean it is they're mostly kind of helping with like polish and technical things kind of for the end, but yeah, I'm still doing a lot of stuff by myself, like what I really need as a producer, I need someone to like help me with handle the marketing and talking to Sony and sorting out certification and all that. Because, well, I hate doing that stuff. I hate all the paperwork that's involved. No, what's up with these shadows? Why is the shadow changing? Okay, so right, we want to get it. Okay. There be daytime cycle? No, unfortunately not. The light is sort of whatever. I mean, I guess I could rotate the light, but the light is in specific direction for very specific reasons. Like I wanted to highlight certain objects. So if I have the thing shifted, it makes it harder to do that. What's the hardest part? Having to constantly change hats because it's not as hard as at the beginning, right? Because sort of at the beginning you're just working on the game and prototyping, and at that point it's not complicated enough that when you go between programming and designing, that's a very fast switch, right? Especially when you're prototyping. In a lot of ways, when you're prototyping a game, it's almost best to be by yourself because it makes it very, very easy to change things quickly. But you know, like where I am and now, the game is so complicated that for me to switch from design, it's like I have to keep all this stuff in my head. I have to keep kind of the design of the game, the architecture of the code. So if I'm not just thinking about how I want to design this level, I'm thinking about, okay, like if I'm doing the level loading, how do we do that? So there's so just kind of switching between coding and design is a lot of work. you know, I have to like get back into like if I've been programming how to get back into level design, I'm like, okay, what was I doing before? You know, what was I thinking? And then like, okay, now I got to go back to coding, and it's like, okay, what? How is this organized again? You sort of have to kind of relearn that, and everything gets harder and harder to well, not necessarily harder, but everything gets more and more complicated as the game grows. And then to throw on top of that, you've got like project management, you've got, you know, dealing with consoles, you've got marketing, PR, and like each of those gets harder to do. As you get closer to launch, there's just more work, not less. So you're like changing hats more often. Each hat is heavier to wear. That for me is the hardest part. I started off mixing both from the start. I mean, the game doesn't really have art, right? So, anyway, I hope that answers your question. I don't know if I'd recommend it. Working on the game by yourself. It's been... You know, I mean, I think Manifold Garden needed that. I needed to make it by myself. Like... Remember, there's people helping me out now. So I'm not trying to take credit, but for the most part, it was by myself, and I needed to do it that way, but. And I'm not saying I would, if I were to go back again, I would do it differently. But if I were to do another project, having done what I've done with Manifold Garden, I would not work by myself again. That's how I would put it. Yeah, it's just like. It feels unnecessarily difficult. You know, it's like moving. Moving by yourself is really hard. But just even having one person makes it exponentially easier. Right, like, how would you carry a mattress down the stairs by yourself? 2 people, you can do that. So then at the same time, it is nice to sort of be like, you know, this is my vision, and to have that. Yeah, it's not. You know, there's good and bad, and not everyone's personality is suited for that. And you know, when I say I don't want to work by myself again, part of it is having done it, I feel I've sort of gotten some of kind of worked out some of the things I've gotten some of it out of the way. Yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just like it's not impossible to make a game by yourself, but it is much harder to carry a mattress downstairs by yourself than with someone else, right? Or installing a Windows AC unit. Is it possible to install it by yourself? Probably. I wouldn't recommend it. I think it's easier with one other person. Oh, hey! Is this white box? I don't know what white box is, actually. Yeah, making a game is like installing a Windows AC unit. You mean gray boxing? I think people call that gray boxing. Yes, except my game there is no. It goes from gray box to final instantly because I don't have an art pipeline. It's all post-processing shaders. It's like bada bing, bada boom. There it is. I mean, I am blocking out stuff, but, you know. Oops. Oh, it's my Windows AC unit analogy. Yeah, making game is like installing a Windows AC unit. You can do it by yourself, but it's harder and dangerous and you might kill someone. Yes, I'm laughing at my own joke. It's a basic building block. Actually, there needs to be, I need better tools. There needs to be a tool where you can just like put a prefab and then set, you know, in which direction you want to replicate it and how many times and have it handle that. So, let's see, I'm designing these two towers. They go together. And I'm trying to have a lot of contrast. So one, you know, is kind of sort of this messy one, and then the other one is supposed to be like really yeah, I want it to look you know really structured. Alright guys, I might take a break. Is this game going to be strictly first person? Yeah, there's no third person mode. I'm assuming you mean like in some games, like the Talos Principle, where you can zoom out and see your character. Yeah, I don't, because I want you to play as yourself. You know, so it's not, and I don't, that doesn't really work with, it doesn't really work, I feel. Yeah, there'll be some, we'll have some accessibility options, so you can change, you know, we'll have like different ways of rotation, different ways of rotating, changing gravity, so hopefully that can work for you. FOV settings, you know, options with the reticle, so yeah, not going to solve motion sickness in first person completely, but we'll try to add as many features as possible to help with that. I think it'd be valuable diversity when there would be different. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, you mean the architecture with this, having the contrast? Yeah, no, I mean, I've played games that don't have it, and it's... Oh, the architecture with 360, yeah. You know, it just changes the, like I was saying, I wanted to to highlight it with the directional light. Ha! Galvin! Glaive, that is absolutely wonderful because I've talked about the manga Blame, which is actually a huge influence. So the fact that you have not, if you watch the stream, if you've been watching the stream for a while, you'll know I keep talking about Blame. It's a huge influence on the game, kind of something that I bring up all the time. So that you are saying it reminds you of that is awesome. Yes, because no, that's why I'm saying it's good that the kind of the influence is apparent to you, because that's exactly what I want the game to remind you of. So yeah, and the movie not so much, because I did not see it until like recently, right? But the manga I've been studying it for a while. Oh yeah. No, I appreciate the thoughts. It is something that I've thought about. I did want shifting lights. You can see it in one of the earlier trailers. I had light moving, but in the end, it was just like it. A lot of times these decisions end up being a compromise. Like, I want the light shining on this button to get the player to look at it, but if it's static, I can't have, kind of this daylight cycle. And I think in the end, for me, it was just that shifting lights, it means sometimes the player is in darkness. It makes it harder to kind of remember places because the light has changed. The lighting has a pretty big impact. So I thought, it'd be better to just kind of set the light and then I can design it, and then at least I know what the player is going to see, than to kind of leave it off to chance. So it was definitely something that was considered, and eventually sort of the cons, they outweigh the pros for that particular issue. But yes, if you like the manga, if you like the Netflix movie, you should definitely check out the manga Tsutomu Nihei by Tsutomu Nihei. It's very different. Yeah, this is just one. I'm sort of trying to do that, right? Like this level, this is very pristine, and then when we're looking at this space, it's much more cluttered. Yeah, anyway, I'm really glad you made the association. So I'm guessing because you don't know anything about the game, that it reminded you of it is awesome. Because yeah, that's very much the feel I've been going for. Alright guys, I am going to pause the stream now, take a quick break. Yeah, but the manga has actually been a big influence in the design. Like one of the things is how, one of the things I've been doing is studying how in these images he makes a space feel big. And sort of one of the conclusions is that there's a lot of contrast between high density, low density area. So this area, right, there's not a lot of detail, and then you have kind of this space right here that's very, very dense, and it's the contrast between these two kinds of spaces that makes it feel like, that gives it this sense of size. It's the scale. So anyway, something I'm trying to do here. Alright, I'm going to take a break. And then I will be back in a few hours. Alright, let's see who else is streaming. Let's see who's here. Right, Quasi TV is streaming. I'm gonna host Quasi. Right. Awesome. I will be back in a few hours. And have a great rest of the Monday. Bye-bye.